Greetings, everyone, and welcome to episode number 14 of the Pan Future Society podcast. It is Saturday, August 20th, 2016. The podcast is here to provide you news and information about long-term thinking, cool technology on the horizon, and ways we might save our own civilization from ourselves. I've had a few people ask me what the show is for, and kind of in a nutshell, that's what it's all about. It might seem fairly grandiose that way, but it is a topic that is important to me. And one of the things that can save us from ourselves is learning how to talk to each other in a reasoned manner. Was a blog post a little while ago on Scientific American about reasoned discourse in the 21st century, and I will post the link in the show notes. But it comes to mind again today because recently there was some news about director Kevin Smith's daughter, 17 years old, receiving savage and utterly ridiculously inappropriate comments online. For one thing, she's 17. And for another, I just don't understand why the internet brings out the worst in us. It seems everyone feels not only free to say whatever they want, but completely free to be a dick. I'm trying to keep the show as clean as possible, so I won't say the words that I really want to say, because I'm engaging in reasoned discourse. But it mystifies me what it is about some people who feel the need to attack other people online. What do you gain from that? How does that make you a better person? It doesn't. So just don't. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Well, your mother was right. Listen to your mother. So anyway, this blog is an interesting view on reasoned discourse in the 21st century. But one part of it I want to talk about right now is the ways that we think, as described in the blog. Understanding the nature of knowing, epistemological understanding, that is, understanding how we know what we claim to know, develops in a sequence throughout your life. In about your first decade as a child, you believe that what you know about the world is direct and firsthand. You look, and what you see is what the world is. By your second decade, you start to discover that beliefs of even experts and all kinds of people differ widely. Your worldview expands, and you start to see the world as a series of opinions rather than facts. And now you come to believe that knowledge, which was once objective, is now entirely subjective, and you can believe whatever you want. And our blog goes on to point out that only some individuals progress to a third epistemological stance in which objective and subjective dimensions of knowing are coordinated and knowledge consists of judgments made within a framework of alternatives and evidence expressing our best current understanding, though subject always to change. That third one, I think in this part of the 21st century, in America, and especially online, most people never get to this third stage. Opinions are okay, inflexibility is not. Having a viewpoint that's different from other people is okay. Sticking your head in the sand and ignoring incontrovertible facts about something is not okay. Disagreeing with someone is okay. Trying to tear them down with violent words is not okay. So, I've said it before. Be good to people. Be better tomorrow than you were today. And learn to slow down your thought processes. The internet makes everything go so fast. we often simply do not think. Take a breath, slow it down, choose to slow your world down. You can do it. And hopefully, we can all learn to communicate a little bit better. All right, that is my soapbox rant for the day. Now, on to your news of the moment. In your news this week, the OSIRIS-REx mission. OSIRIS-REx stands for the Origins, Spectral Interpretation, Resource Identification, Security, Regolith Explorer. I gotta think they started with OSIRIS-REx and then backtracked through that to figure out what to call it. This is a mission planned by NASA, and its launch is scheduled for September 8th, 2016, so just a few weeks from now. The mission of this project is to study asteroid 101955 Bennu, a carbonaceous asteroid, and in the year 2023 will return a sample to Earth for detailed analysis. Material returned is expected to enable scientists to learn more about the formation and evolution of the solar system, initial stages of planet formation, and the source of organic compounds which led to the formation of life on Earth. If successful, OSIRIS-REx will be the first U.S. spacecraft to return samples from an asteroid. This mission, Lockheed Martin has completed assembly and testing of the spacecraft, and this is the third planetary science mission selected in the New Frontiers program, which also includes Juno, which is at Jupiter now, and New Horizons, which recently flew past Pluto. This is really interesting. The website for the mission is asteroidmission.org, and you can find out more about the mission. It is not only going to study and return samples, but measure some non-gravitational forces called the Yarkovsky effect, and compare observations at the asteroid to ground-based observations. So go check that out online. They've got some nice interactive stuff on the website too, so you can learn all about it. Again, that is asteroidmission.org, and that was your news of the moment. All right, today's main segment will be an overview of artificial intelligence being used today, right now, in a wide range of applications, as a follow-up to last week's primer on artificial intelligence. From games to medicine, war to online shopping, AI is already all around us. I am going to go through a rundown of some of the more notable examples that have gotten public attention. At the moment, these might seem mere curiosities, but in the long view, spend some time pondering the implications. Technological unemployment is a theme I will revisit often, and artificial intelligence is at the forefront of the growing possibility that all jobs can be done by robots. Video games. Yep, I'm going to talk about games. Though you may not think of it this way, many video games use AI. If you interact with in-game characters that have some sort of autonomy over their behavior and don't just loop in a short pattern, you've interacted with an AI. In one of the more humorous but also ominous examples, an update to the game Elite Dangerous unintentionally created in-game AI superweapons that went on a rampage. An update to the game unintentionally made NPCs, non-player characters, more aggressive and allowed them to combine weapon features in unintentional ways that made them super powerful. While far from Skynet, it might be a good illustration of the caution urged by people like Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking as we pursue more advanced AI. It's hard to predict every possible outcome, at least if you're human. Completely self-driving cars are not widespread yet, but many cars have elements of self-driving short of totally taking over for you right now. There are cars that will brake for you in an emergency, can make the cruise control option more autonomous, or will do your parallel parking for you. There are also cars with OnStar and other communication systems that will automatically make emergency calls for you if you're in an accident. All of these systems rely on artificial intelligence. The search engines you use online are being fueled by AI. Using deep learning and machine learning algorithms, they hope to produce better results, although sometimes I find this not always to be true. There is also AI programming behind your voice activated tools on your phones like Siri, Cortana, and Google Assistant. Not only is there AI behind the raw search for data, the fact that you can talk to Siri using everyday language and that she responds using everyday language is thanks to AI. Certainly, these tools are not perfect, but if you've been around long enough, like I have, you remember voice commands from the 1990s that were hilariously bad and nearly totally useless. These current search engines are growing to a point where not only can you ask for movie times and find an Uber ride, you can buy tickets to the movies and book a ride to the theater. Or rather, you can have your phone buy tickets and book a ride for you. These applications are also evolving into more areas of personal assistance. For example, taking voice notes and converting your spoken words into text. More and more, we see examples of computers doing things for us this way. There's also a few robotic things. If you have seen the Jibo robot, a rather adorable little thing that is sort of a personal assistant bundled up in a little robotic package. And these things are becoming more and more common all the time. In the field of medicine, AI is being used as a diagnostic tool. In a recent example, IBM's Watson diagnosed a cancer patient whose form of leukemia had eluded doctors looking for a proper treatment. Watson was able to collect and correlate far more data than even a group of people could. And there is also a large-scale use now underway between Watson and doctors in China. Apparently, doctors are overwhelmed by the number of cancer patients they are trying to diagnose, and Watson will be helping with that workload. Computers with AI flexibility are also being used to examine X-rays, MRIs, and CAT scans. The evidence so far shows that the computers are far more accurate at detecting anomalies in the scans and are capable of finding them at a much earlier stage in a given disease than a human can find them. There are also robots being developed to assist and perform complex medical procedures, and they will rely on AI to adjust as the procedures go on. Though most people right now seem to not be comfortable with a robot performing surgery, they actually could be far more capable than humans when it comes to delicate procedures. In the field of law, there are companies right now using Watson and other supercomputer AIs to provide legal advice and research. Much like the medical diagnosis, imagine the ability to examine and compare every case ever brought to court in the history of the country you live in, and then make a comparison to your current case. Such a task would be impossible for people to do short of working away at it for years. As more and more data is available online, these uses for AI become more accurate and effective. One last area of AI in use right now that I'm going to talk about is in the writing of news articles. This is an area of AI that has been in use for a while and often goes unnoticed in the production of press releases and news stories, particularly in economic reports, sports summaries, and short blurbs about breaking news. articles that might be deemed content rather than stories. For example, the LA Times published a report about an earthquake that had just happened. Their story hit the wire 3 minutes after the quake. In cases of breaking news like this, that could certainly speed up your ability to grab the scoop. Many of the computer written stories are more on the dry side, like business earnings reports, but I think it's only a matter of time and data before a deep learning machine has examined hundreds of thousands of news reports and can automatically generate stories you can't distinguish from a human generated story. As part of another example of this, I found a company online called Articulo. They're articulo.com. You can feed their system 2 to 5 seed words, and it will automatically generate a sub 500 word story about that topic. It is intended to be used to generate content, quote unquote content. In the sense of writing, this is just stuff to keep people engaged with your blog or something like that. I ran it through some artificial intelligence article, and it's not bad. It's not really good. It kind of gets a little weird with its word choices. So I think for advanced topics, it's not really quite there yet. But certainly for something like, letting people who read the business section of a newspaper, how Walt Disney Company did last quarter, certainly can do those things right now. Those are just some of the larger areas outside of scientific research that you can find artificial intelligence in use right now. Next time you ask Siri for directions, remember she might be listening and learning so she can better communicate with us old-fashioned analog life forms. All right, that is your show for the week. Thank you once again for joining me on the Pan Future Society podcast. You can come visit us online at panfuture.org, email me, Sean, at panfuture.org, or come find us on Facebook and Twitter. I do share a lot of things on Twitter. There's some blog posts on the website from time to time, a few times a month. Some extra news pops up that I want to cover. And Twitter can get you your fill of the show while I am off next week. Yes, I've got a few too many things to do next week, so I will not have time to record a show. We'll take the week off and pick it up after that. But as always, I will talk to you again in the future.